The honourable member for Saanich Gulf Islands.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm rising in late show this evening to address a question I first raised on October 3rd. It relates to not only the threat of climate change, but specifically whether in reviewing the Kinder Morgan pipeline, otherwise known as the Trans Mountain Pipeline, which Canada now owns, in reviewing that expansion, if the Government of Canada would not think it was appropriate to ensure that the climate impacts were also studied while the project has been forced into, one might say, overtime hours new review because of the failure of both the federal government and, one should mention, the proponent, Kinder Morgan, in the conduct of the first hearing. So we all know that on August 30th of last year, the permits that were granted to Kinder Morgan were struck down by the Federal Court of Appeal on multiple grounds. Again, failures of the federal government, failures of Kinder Morgan itself. And when I asked the Prime Minister this question, whether it wouldn't be appropriate, now that we're reviewing the project afresh, particularly for its marine impacts and respect for Indigenous nations in this country, that we should do the same thing with Kinder Morgan that the Liberal government did with Energy East, which was to say we want to look at the upstream effects of the project on our greenhouse gas emissions. The Prime Minister's response was essentially that we've already done this. He said direct and upstream impacts were reviewed under our interim principles announced in January 2016. So it's to this so-called inclusion of climate impacts from the interim principles that I'll address my follow-up this evening. Those interim principles, as many members in this place will recall, were to deal with stepping back from the campaign promise that was made by the Prime Minister as the candidate and leader of the Liberal Party in 2015, that no project could be approved based on the flawed process of the National Energy Board, that it was so flawed that you couldn't approve any pipeline through that project. They stepped back from that by saying, well, we're going to go ahead and not restart the process as we promised. We're going to create interim principles. One of those was we're going to look at the climate change impacts. So in November of 2016, a report was released by Environment Canada. It's something around 50 pages. It's not a result of a hearing to which other participants from other organizations, other scientists could testify. They did take written comments. It is wholly inadequate to meet the requirements of 2019 when Kinder Morgan is now being reassessed. And it's inadequate for two reasons. Given that I have less than a minute left, let me just say the two reasons are this. It's outdated. It's outdated, number one, because it was conducted more than 2 years before the IPCC issued its special report on the imperative that we hold to 1.5 degrees Celsius, that we not go above that, and the findings of scientists globally that we cannot afford one more additional piece of fossil fuel infrastructure and hold to 1.5. It's also outdated because the Government of Canada now owns this pipeline and is determined to build it. Now, this is directly relevant to the finding on greenhouse gases in the interim study done by Environment Canada for this reason. They measured it based on market forces. They said if the price of a barrel of oil is below $60, you can't make money on this, so the project won't be built. Oh, but now we're way outside market forces. The Government of Canada inexplicably, monumentally, stupidly, has bought a $4.6 billion pipeline that Kinder Morgan paid $550 million for and is intending to build it no matter whether it makes money or not.
L'honorable secrétaire parlementaire pour le ministre de l'Agriculture et de l'Agroalimentaire.
Je vous remercie, Madame la Présidente, et je veux remercier la députée de Saanich Gulf Islands pour son importante question. J'ai écouté attentivement ses commentaires. Premièrement, je tiens à préciser que notre gouvernement partage l'engagement de la députée envers les luttes contre les changements climatiques. C'est pourquoi nous mettons en place notre plan national pour le climat, qui comprend plus de 50 engagements visant à combattre les changements climatiques. En ce qui concerne le projet d'agrandissement du réseau Trans Mountain, comme le Premier ministre l'a dit lorsqu'il a répondu à la question originale de la députée au début d'octobre, les incidences directes et en amont ont été examinées en vertu des principes provisoires que nous avons annoncés en janvier 2016. Dans le cadre de nos principes provisoires pour l'examen de grands projets, notre gouvernement a promis d'évaluer les émissions à gaz à effet de serre directes et en amont liées à un tel projet. Nous avons tenu cette promesse pour le projet d'agrandissement du réseau Trans Mountain. Nos principes provisoires ont été mis en place afin d'offrir une plus grande certitude pour les promoteurs du projet et afin de rétablir la confiance des Canadiens. À la suite de la décision de la Cour fédérale d'appel, nous avons demandé à l'Office national de l'énergie de revoir ses recommandations sur le projet d'agrandissement du réseau Trans Mountain afin de tenir compte sur les incidences du transport maritime liées à ce projet. De cette façon, nous suivons la voie claire établie par la Cour fédérale d'appel afin de faire progresser ce projet de la bonne façon. Dans le cadre de cet examen ciblé, nous avons demandé à l'ONE de prendre en compte les efforts de notre gouvernement pour protéger les polars résidents du Sud par l'entremise d'un plan de protection des océans de 1,5 milliard de dollars. Et pour nous assurer que l'ONE a l'expertise et la capacité pour tenir compte de toutes ces données probantes, pour offrir des conseils au gouvernement. Nous avons nommé un conseiller technique spécial sur les questions maritimes pour appuyer l'Office. Comme je l'ai mentionné, Madame la Présidente, je crois qu'il s'agit d'un travail important. Il se fonde sur le travail déjà terminé et remplit les lacunes relevées par la Cour d'appel fédérale. L'objectif consiste à faire progresser ce projet de la bonne façon. Je vous remercie, Madame la Présidente.
Honourable member for Saanich Gulf Islands.
Oh, my dear. I don't know whether to laugh or cry. Did you hear my 4-minute, did the honourable member, the parliamentary secretary, hear my 4 minutes in which I went through the same things he talked about and explained why they were completely inadequate, completely outdated, and completely missed the point? The point is this. As Greta Thunberg, the Swedish schoolgirl, has been trying to wake us up to the reality our house is on fire. She says to the elder generation, don't tell me we should have hope. I want you to panic. I want you to feel the fear I fear when I think about my future and how it's disappearing. And if there was ever clearer evidence that this government doesn't understand urgency, it's this debate tonight. The urgency is this. We have to hold to 1.5 degrees Celsius. We know that. The scientists have told us that. We pledged to do it in Paris. But the document referred to by the parliamentary secretary is out of tune, talking right past that point, deaf, dumb, and blind to urgency.
L'honorable secrétaire parlementaire.
Merci, Madame la Présidente. Maintenant que nous ne fassions que nous répéter, j'aimerais répéter que le Premier ministre a déjà dit, et je cite, « L'examen de l'ONE entreprendra est lié à la décision récente de la Cour d'appel concernant les incidences du transport maritime. » Fin de citation. C'est le sujet principal de cet examen, combler les lacunes relevées par la Cour d'appel fédérale. Et comme le Premier ministre a aussi dit, les incidences directes et en amont ont été examinées en vertu des principes provisoires que nous avons annoncés en janvier 2016. Madame la Présidente, notre objectif est de nous assurer que le projet d'agrandissement du réseau Trans Mountain évolue dans la bonne direction, un objectif auquel les Canadiens et les tribunaux sont venus à s'attendre de nous. Merci, Madame la Présidente.